Good afternoon, guys. Well, it has been quite the last week or so, couple weeks. We have gotten a tremendous amount of snow, bad weather, cold weather, sleet, you name it. It's about, I think it's about 54 degrees right now, but I wanted to come back out to this pond out here and kind of see how things are looking. And I am hugely surprised. The owner sent me a picture, and I was just really surprised. You can see all the snow. I think we had 8 inches, about 6 to 8 inches. It was a light snow. We had a lot of drifting, because it was blowing real hard. So anyway, that is crazy. That is crazy. I'm gonna try to get over here without wading a foot deep in mud. Another reason why I'm coming out is I noticed kind of the last day and a half that I was running the D6 that it was kind of doggy acting a little bit. I done some checking with some buddies of mine who suggested that I might check the fuel pressure at the fuel filter, because if the lift pump is going out, then that could be an issue there as well. So anyway, I bought a gauge and I'm going to hook up to it, check it. Also, I'm going to check my RPMs. I've got a Photo Tach I've had for a while, and somebody has already checked that because there's a piece of reflective tape on the harmonic balancer. So I'm going to go and check that as well. I'm just curious on that fuel pressure. When I bought the D6, it had set for 8 years, and I've told this story before. It had set for 8 years without being started, and it had a crap ton of algae in the tank. And me, in all my infinite wisdom, I did not drain the tank and clean it, because honestly at that time I didn't realize that it had algae in it. So anyway, that kind of just festered and festered, and I realized what was going on, and so I put some algicide in it, and I fought it back and forth for a year. And I mean, I think I've got it actually in good shape right now. Sorry for the wind. But I always fill my tanks up after I get done 99.9% of the time, unless I'm just out of fuel. But it really didn't seem to matter, man. I just kept cutting my filters open, kept getting algae, and I just couldn't figure it out. I just kept throwing algicide in it to see if I could get it out of there. And then one day I ran it almost empty and looked down in there. There was all kinds of water droplets in the bottom of the tank, thousands and thousands of them. So condensation is really bad in that machine. And so I started using a fuel treatment to put in there for nothing more than to disperse the water. The algae grows in the water in the bottom of the tank, and then that's what happens. So I've been using the fuel treatment. I haven't seen any more water droplets in there, so fingers crossed that my algae problem is gone. However, that algae sometimes can be gritty and sandy, and I'm hoping that it's going to be the lift pump and not the injector pump. It still runs fine and everything. It just has spells where it gets a little bit doggy. And if that, and the dogginess, the last day or two, it seemed to be more doggy than it was perky. Still push good, still spin the tracks, but it just wasn't quite there. So I'm hoping it's the lift pump getting weak, and or may have been damaged by the algae, but who knows? That could be the original lift pump, who knows. So there's supposed to be an 1/8 inch pipe plug on the filter base. I'm going to plug into it, fire it up, and I'm going to check the fuel pressure. Make sure we got sufficient fuel pressure. Fingers crossed that's what it is, I'm hoping. But that's just kind of a little bit of an annoyance. But anyway, enough of that. It'll be a while before I can get back in here, because more than likely, because the ground is so soft, and I do not want to rut up his field. The ground's still a little bit frozen, so I'm gonna set up here. See right there, look at that. It's halfway full, or close to halfway full. You can hear the water running in. Water's all coming down, and you can just see a stream. It is smoking in over there. Wow. Now, like I said, I knew this would be a place to catch a lot of water right through here. I think there's maybe another pond over there on the other side of the fence that overflows, and then this catches coming down off this hill and stuff. This is a low spot and kind of catches and comes in here. So anyway, we're about up to that big rock right there. But yeah, shoot, I'd say it's close to half full right now. Pretty close. Like I said, the water's pouring in it. So we'll just see if she stays. That's going to be the thing. So I've got a little bit of water, and which I was afraid of. I've got a little bit of water standing right up here, right at the dam. And I was afraid of that. So I'm going to have to try to take and regrade that. I ran out of dirt, and there's a low spot right here. Dang, the wind's terrible. But there's a low spot right there. And so it's holding right here, and I don't want that. So if it'll ever dry up, maybe a summer job, I don't know. I guess if I can, this summer or something, I could come back out and use the track loader and go bring some of that over here, because I'd really like to keep this going like it is. And I mean, it's running over here. I might be able to come in here and cut a swell, kind of take and push some of that up in here, but it's going to have to dry way up before I could ever think about doing that. But anyway, looking awesome. Looking awesome. Fingers crossed it'll stay. All right, well, we're going to see. Sit you right here, maybe. Hopefully I don't have to disassemble half the machine. I'll probably have to take this access panel off and that almost looks, that's a bleeder. Yeah, there may be a plug on that other side. Let's go, and I'm going to pull this, oh, dang, that magnet's strong. I'm going to go ahead and pull that access plate off, allow me to get in, hopefully get in without having to take this off. If it's going to, I'm hoping I can get in there. Back over here, because that, I think that plug is Right there, I think. It's right here. I think if I get this access panel, I can reach in there and probably get it, but they didn't put her in a very good place, did they? Oh, feeder. I'm gonna be soaked. Oh, they still didn't leave me much in the way of room there, did they? Yeah, my feet are getting soaked. I guess see if I can drop it down in there. Ooh. Can be metric. Probably. May or may not be doing this. Well, that's the pipe plug. I don't think I'm gonna get it. That damn bracket is right in the way, isn't it? Yeah. It needs to be a 90, doesn't it? Oh, getting the fuel out now, baby. All right, well, there was some sort, and I'm hoping you can see, right here where I plugged in the sensor was in there. I don't know if that's a fuel pressure sensor or exactly what that is. It's not a shut off because this thing's manually shut off. So hopefully it'll run. It should run without it, shouldn't it? hopefully. I guess we'll see here in a minute. If I get out here and drop something in the belly pan, I'm gonna be lucky. Well, watch me here and we'll see what we got. Let's see if this will stay right there. Not shake everything off in the ground. I don't know, I'll have to do some inquiring. That's the lift pump here. And that puts pressure into the filter housing, which in turn sucks it up into the injection pump. So that there should not be any difference tapping into there than there would over here on the side. So I wouldn't think. But we definitely had 30 to 40 pounds of pressure according to this. All right, well, there used to be If you can see that reflective strip right there, there used to be a strip on that pulley, or on the harmonic balancer, and it wasn't reading a while ago, so I guess we'll I stuck another one on. I cleaned it up, stuck another one on there, and we'll fire it up and see if she'll read now. That time, RPM 707. Crack it wide open throttle for just a minute. Try that. I think the spec's 2050 RPM, when we're, according to this, about about 2160. So we're about 110 RPM over. So have to watch that. Like I said, I don't know why. And I don't know how accurate these Photo Tachs are either. I don't know that they're that accurate. It could be within spec and reading just a little bit high. I don't know. So, I don't know. It may come down to, at some point in time, it may come down to I don't know, if it keeps doing what it's doing, it may come down to trying to look and see when I put that in there. It's been a while, but it doesn't have all that many hours on it. But may come down to pulling that injector pump, sending it in, having them put it on the stand and check it. I don't know. That's a bad thing about, as I mentioned earlier, it's a bad thing about all that algae and stuff is, you know, that algae is gritty. And theoretically, the filters are supposed to catch all that before it goes in the injector pump. But, I don't know. Did it? I don't know. You know, this thing sat for so long. There could have been rust build up inside that pump, and, you know, I don't know. I mean, it still runs fine. It still pushes. But, I mean, oftentimes you can just kind of tell. It's just kind of sporadic. It's not constant. However, it seemed like it's starting to do it a little bit more than it usually did. So I don't know, might just have to have it diagnosed and see if we can figure out. I don't know if there's a way to plug into those injector lines, check pressures. Could be injectors. I mean, the thing fires up pretty good, doesn't smoke a lot, so I can't imagine it be injectors, but I guess if it is, it is. I'd rather put injectors in there than pull that pump. Those may be original ejectors, I don't know. Don't know. Well, I'm gonna put this back together and take my gauge off and button everything up, and I've done about all I can do today. All right, guys. Well, I'm about done all I can do, I think. I'm gonna send that video to a buddy of mine that's used to be a cat mechanic. Let him look at that pressure video. But I think that needle bouncing, I think if it was a liquid filled gauge, it probably wouldn't bounce like that. And I may in fact go get a liquid filled gauge and screw into the top of that. It should take that bounce like that out of there, but we'll let him see what he thinks. Also, I got to thinking, when I first bought this thing, the muffler was rotted out. This centerpiece, or that round piece right up in there, there was a hole in there, and the exhaust was blowing down on top of the injector pump. That was one of the first things that I changed when I bought it. I went and got a new muffler and put on it, because like I said, there was a rotted out hole down here, and man, it was, you can see there was a little bit of discoloration. Not bad, but hopefully that didn't get that block too hot right in there and mess up some, you know, and mess up some dang O-rings or something inside that pump. So I don't know. Have to do a little bit more troubleshooting as time goes. I may just have to take it to him and have him, that buddy of mine, have him see if he can go through and figure it out. And I guess worst case scenario, we pull the pump off. Injector pump is here. Pull the injector pump off and we take it and have him bench test it, see how it's doing. So don't know. Can't imagine it being a turbo, because when I had the muffler off, had all this guard and everything off of here, and I think I even took the snout off of the turbo, and I reached in there and felt the turbo, and the turbo was tight and spinning freely. So, and you can hear it whining, and when you shut it down, you can hear it spinning. So I think it's okay. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's a fuel issue is what I think. But we'll see. Just more troubleshooting we'll have to do. Again, it's still pushing fine and stuff. It just, you can just tell when it's a little bit off. I mean, it doesn't quite have what it needs. Well, you can kind of see right now. See all the water that thing's catching, draining off through there, and probably draining off back up through here. I mean, you can see. Get out here and get myself all muddy and sink up to my knees. Good grief, look at that. Wow. Definitely got the runoff, huh? Well, hopefully she'll go ahead and come on up. I mean, it is, well, I bet it's, oh, it's a good 6 foot out there. It'll probably be over my head out there in the middle right now. But I mean, that's awesome. Fingers crossed she'll stay. But definitely, I think it's definitely a good place, for sure. As far as runoff goes, like I said, we'll see. We'll see when the water stops. Water stops running in, how she does. there'll be some fluctuation in it, and it'll drop some, or it may drop all the way down. I don't see it dropping all the way down because there's a good clay in there, but it may cycle a few times and go, I mean, up and down before it seals up. But anyway, I like it. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. It wasn't much of a video. I hadn't posted anything in a while, again, because of the weather, but I wanted to throw something together and throw out there to you so y'all don't leave me. But anyway, I just want to come out and troubleshoot that real quick, and got some thinking to do on that yet. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave comments, ring that notification bell. That way you know when I post a new video. Again, on Instagram, follow me, and that's at DirtDaddy953. So it may end up by being a few days. We're supposed to have nice weather coming up for the next several days, no moisture. So I am hoping maybe by the weekend I'll be able to get back out here. He was wanting to just kind of muck out a little frog pond he's got up here to kind of help. I may try to do that, but I need to, like I said, I need to be thinking about getting on out of here. I need to check with a neighbor over here to the east. He was wanting something done. If it's anything brush tree related, I can go ahead and do it with the excavator. It won't tear up the ground too much. So anyway, I may have some video on that coming up this weekend. So anyway, guys, again, I'm out of here. Really appreciate you guys. The channel is growing. Appreciate all the feedback, appreciate all the comments. So guys, I'm out of here, and we'll see you on the next video.